We felt like we were in the Philippines tonight and not in Abu Dhabi. So now I think you can definitely say a word to your fans.
Magandang gabi, mga kababayan. Magandang gabi, Abu Dhabi.
Eala stepped onto stadium court in Abu Dhabi, and it felt less like a routine tour stop and more like a Grand Slam final, because thousands of fans were already on their feet screaming her name as the stands overflowed with noise, color, and emotion. And across the net stood not just an opponent but her closest friend, her former doubles partner, a player she had crossed continents with, shared hotel rooms and practice courts with, laughed with after wins and cried with after losses. And now the brutal reality of professional tennis demanded that Alex take everything from her, a psychological battle most 20-year-olds would crumble under. Yet this is where the Filipino sensation showed why she is rapidly becoming a serious threat to the entire WTA tour. Because this was never just a routine first-round match but a pressure cooker moment that tested her heart, her focus, and her maturity as she walked into Zaid Sports City International Tennis Center to face Zeynep Sonmez, knowing full well that beating a friend hurts differently, knowing that every clean winner would sting twice, and still choosing to compete with total commitment as a packed stadium split between passionate Filipino supporters and vocal Turkish fans created an electric atmosphere that felt more like a rivalry than a reunion. And history only added fuel because this was their third meeting, with Alex holding a spotless 2-0 record, including a tight 3-set style battle in France and a dominant straight sets win in Eastbourne qualifiers, meaning Sonmez knew exactly how steep the mountain was. Yet both players arrived with confidence, after reaching career-high rankings in the same week, with Alex at world number 45 and Sonmez at 79, while Zeynep carried momentum from a breakthrough Australian Open run, where she made history for Turkey and knocked off a top 11 player. So when the match began, Alex wasted no time seizing control by breaking early and sprinting to a 3-1 lead, dictating rallies and setting the tempo like a seasoned shot caller. But Sonmez refused to fade as she broke back to level things at 3-all, tightening the tension and forcing Alex to respond under pressure, with the crowd holding its breath. And this is where the story shifts, because instead of panicking, Alex recalibrated, raised her intensity, surged to 5-3, then faced another test when she was broken serving for the set, only to answer like a seasoned champion by breaking again and sealing the opener 6-4 with ice-cold nerve. A moment that screamed belief and grit and hinted at something bigger brewing beneath the surface. And as the second set unfolded, Alex looked locked in with razor-sharp focus, jumping to a 3-0 lead and making every point feel suffocating for her opponent, as if the court itself was shrinking. Yet Sonmez battled back to keep it close, earning respect with her fight and refusal to surrender. But Alex shut the door with authority by winning 3 of the next 4 games to close out a 6-3 victory in 1 hour and 31 minutes, a performance defined by relentless returning as she converted 6 of 9 break chances, constantly reading serves, stepping inside the baseline and forcing errors through sustained pressure rather than luck, playing chess while others play checkers and dictating the match 2 shots ahead. And what elevated the moment even further was what came after, because instead of delivering a generic winner's speech, Alex honored her opponent and her friendship, praising Zeynep with genuine warmth and respect, and reminding everyone that their bond extends beyond tennis, a display of class that resonated just as loudly as her forehands and made the crowd fall in love with her all over again. And with the win, she climbed to number 43 in the live rankings, edging closer to the top 40, while making it clear that this is only a checkpoint for a 20-year-old still years away from her prime, a player already capable of challenging top 50 and top 20 opponents, and drawing massive crowds like she did at the Australian Open, where Filipino fans lined up in overwhelming numbers simply to support her, proving that people don't just rally behind winners, but behind athletes who inspire pride and belief. And now, as Alex moves into the second round against seasoned veteran Alexandra Sasnovich of Belarus, a former top player with a decade more experience who already stunned a top seed, the road only gets tougher and more unforgiving. Yet Sasnovich is widely known as one of the most dangerous and unpredictable players on tour because she is clever, battle-tested, and deeply familiar with how to close matches. But this is exactly the kind of challenge that brings out the best in Alex, because she thrives in the underdog role. She feeds off doubt, and after the surge of confidence she gained in round 1 by breaking serve 6 times and playing fearless attacking tennis, it would be foolish to count her out, especially knowing that she also has doubles action ahead alongside Indonesian partner Janice Chen, as they prepare to face an absolute minefield of a pairing in Leylah Fernandez, a French Open doubles finalist, and Kristina Mladenovic, a 6-time Grand Slam doubles champion, a matchup that would intimidate most young players, but one that Alex clearly embraces because pressure does not scare her, it sharpens her edge and focuses her intent. And that brings us to the bigger picture of why Eala matters beyond scorelines and rankings, because every time she walks onto court, she represents the Philippines on the sport's biggest stages, inspiring a new generation of Filipino kids to pick up a racket and believe that their dreams are valid, showing the world that you do not have to come from traditional tennis powerhouses like the United States, Europe, or Australia to compete at the highest level. And when she steps under the lights, she is carrying the hopes of millions, yet instead of shrinking under that weight, she grows stronger, drawing energy from it like fuel, as seen from the roaring Filipino crowd in Abu Dhabi that pushed her forward point by point. And just as impressive as her game is the way she carries herself with humility, grace, and respect, setting a powerful example that you can be ruthless on the court and still kind off it. You can compete with fire while showing compassion. You can win with class and lose with dignity. And that balance has become the Eala identity. Which is why the tennis world is undeniably richer with her in it. And here is the bold prediction that may age very well or come back for debate later, because Eala is heading for the top 30 by the end of this year and possibly even higher, not because of hype, but because she has the complete package with a polished game, elite mental toughness, relentless work ethic, and most importantly, unshakable belief. A belief you can see in her body language and shot selection, because she is not playing to survive, she is playing to win, and that confidence cannot be taught. It is earned through battles like this. And when you look at her resume with Grand Slam junior titles, a US Open Girls Singles crown, an Australian Open Girls Doubles Championship, and success at every level she has touched, it becomes clear that now on the main tour it is only a matter of time before she starts making deep runs at major tournaments. Because Eala is not just arriving on the scene, she is building something special in real time, and her rise is far from finished.